through that dog leg. And indeed, next time they come through here, they'll be whistling it better than 205 miles an hour. They are down to the line. Green flag is displayed to the field, and the Winston 500 is underway. Dropping all the way down to the inside, going 3 wide for a moment was Darrell Walker, trying to move up some spots as they hit turn 1.
But they'll stay basically 2 by 2 as they work their way into turns 1 and 2 for the first time of 188 laps. Still 2 by 2, but now it's 3 wide. Labonte 1.
Turn 2.
At the same time, Jeff Bodine trying to work further back. He looked to the inside of Bobby Hillen in what would have been a battle for 10th, but Jeffrey decides to go single file. It's just 2 car lengths now. Bill Elliott's lead over a hard closing Dale Earnhardt, but Earnhardt has company because Cale Yarborough and Kyle Petty are right there.
The draft beginning to stretch itself out now with 4 cars starting to break away, led by Elliott. 3 car lengths back to Earnhardt, 2 back to Petty, and 2 more back to Yarborough. Then about 5 back to the Darrell Waltrip car as they swing off turn 4.
Elliott's Coors Thunderbird is not running off from anybody right now as Earnhardt and Kyle Petty have erased that deficit. It's now just about 5 car lengths. Cale swings high in the tri-oval. He's 4th. Waltrip 5th. Ruttman is 6th. Bonnet is 7th.
On a groove to keep him back there. Earnhardt looks to the inside, breathes the car a little bit, and stays right behind Bill Elliott. Petty about 2 car lengths back. Yarborough another 4 back behind Petty as they come into the short chute.
Things are going to get hot at the Alabama International Motor Speedway as Bill Elliott looks in that rearview mirror. Here comes Dale Earnhardt. He's cut it down to 2 car lengths. Right behind him is Kyle Petty. A couple more back there's Cale Yarborough as the front 4 are locked tied in turn 1.
And Earnhardt is there. He looks to the inside, but Bill Elliott comes down to block that opening in an effective move. So Earnhardt will back still, holding in the 2nd spot. Kyle Petty in 3rd. Cale Yarborough in 4th. Hold single file. There's race traffic now being a factor. Just 3 car lengths ahead of the leaders. Race traffic.
The quartet of lead cars moving up on 4 other lap cars as they come up to the banking in turn 3. Elliott leads away. Earnhardt won't attempt to pass now as they come by 2 of the...
Back into the tri-oval at 200 miles an hour. Elliott now has a 4-car breakaway at the front of the field. It's Elliott, Earnhardt, Kyle Petty, and Yarborough. Waltrip leads the 2nd draft. Joe Ruttman, Neil Bonnet, Phil Parsons, and the rest of the pack totaling some 20 cars.
Lead cars going past Connie Saylor and J.D. McDuffie, so for the moment nobody makes a passing move. Off turn 2, Earnhardt has consistently come off the corner, looking to make a pass to the inside of Bill Elliott, but once they get to the midpoint of the back straightaway, it's all single file.
5 back to Waltrip.
And Tim Richmond is way back toward the tail end of the field. He and Mike Alexander drafting along together, just trying to catch up to about 27th position. Elliott takes him back to turn 1, and Earnhardt goes to work on him again. Those front 4 still nose to tail, about a half a car length separate them. Here's Earnhardt to the bottom of the racetrack.
And this time he has an opening. Bill Elliott will slip up just a half groove. Earnhardt winds up the Wrangler Monte Carlo. It's a drag race off turn 2. Earnhardt has the inside groove. Elliott, though, with that horsepower, catches him, and now Kyle Petty pulls to the inside. It's 3-way at turn 3.
The Talladega draft does the job as Kyle Petty drafts past Earnhardt, but there in front again is Bill Elliott. Elliott got it back, and Petty moves into 2nd. Earnhardt to 3rd. Yarborough then at Bill Elliott 3rd and 4th to Yarborough, closing in Kyle Petty and Bobby Allison.
Into the tri-oval. Petty has a look on the low side of Earnhardt, but lap traffic is there, and a bit of smoke out of 1 car. It looks like Bill Elliott's car. Elliott has gone up in smoke. The car goes toward the bottom of the racetrack, still smoking heavily, but he is in the throttle in turn 2.
The whole world has just stood up back here off turn 2, and they're just pointing collectively at the number 9 car. Everybody goes by. Elliott's car still under power, but smoke showing from the rear.
Earnhardt is leading Richard Petty, Cale Yarborough, Kyle Petty, and Bobby Allison. Elliott's car is still up to power. It is smoking quite heavily, but he's dropping back not that much further from the rest of the pack, but he's heading for pit road.
Elliott trails smoke. Meanwhile, Earnhardt leads. Richard Petty is 2nd. Back 3 car lengths to Cale Yarborough. 4 more to Kyle Petty, and then Bobby Allison goes 5th.
And coming down onto pit road, Bill Elliott, and every fan here is on their feet coming down the line. Earnhardt's going after Richard Petty for the lead, and he's going to do it on the outside again. They race door to door back into turn.
Bill Elliott passing us off turn 2. He's got 7 car lengths on Kyle Petty, then Baker, Allison, and then Yarborough.
Elliott again weaving back and forth inside to outside, trying to break the draft of Kyle Petty. Here's Yarborough now, swings to the outside of Buddy Baker. Nothing in front of him now but the 2 leaders.
Yarborough goes into 3rd, way up by the wall, almost took it, came back down. Your 2nd place car is Petty. Your leader is Bill Elliott.
Probably wouldn't have made any difference, but Cale Yarborough tried to make the move 2 laps ago in the middle of the backstretch while Elliott was caught right up in the middle of that pack of traffic, but Elliott saw him coming and just broke out of there like a pig trying to get to the trough. Bill Elliott has not cracked the throttle, still comes zipping down and continues to pull away, and the fans are cheering him, but then they glance back to Cale Yarborough and Kyle Petty. That's going to be a whale of a finish. Going to be equally as good for that fourth spot between Bobby Allison and Ricky Rudd as they began to dice around for that spot.
It's on the last lap. The white flag is out. Bill Elliott is pulling off. Cale Yarborough trying to break the draft on Kyle Petty using the low side of the racetrack. Elliott passes us. Now Cale and Kyle coming back off the corner.
Cale now tucks in behind a slower car, uses him as a pick as Kyle went to the inside, but that path was blocked off. He now goes to the high side of Yarborough going to turn 3.
Here's Kyle Petty up on the outside of Cale Yarborough. It's Petty and Yarborough going for second. Here they come off the turn. They're door handle as your leader sweeps into the tri-oval. It's Petty on the outside.
Bill Elliott comes down and will win the Winston 500, but they are still door-to-door for second spot. Cale Yarborough and Kyle Petty, the two Ford Thunderbirds, ride door-to-door as they come to the line. Who is it going to be? It will be Kyle Petty by what? 6 inches, no more than that, finishing second as they sweep back into turn 1 as Bill Elliott wins here at Talladega. And we'll be going to Victory Lane to chat with him, and what a payday he will have picking up the race here this afternoon, overcoming almost 2 laps down early this afternoon and coming back to win.
To Victory Lane after this from Alabama International Motor Speedway. This is MRN, the Motor Racing Network.
NASCAR Today continues on the Motor Racing Network.
Bill Elliott has just collected his 8th career win this afternoon and will be his biggest payday ever, an extra $100,000 from the R.J. Reynolds folks, and he should be in Victory Lane with Ned Jarrett.
Well, he is in Victory Lane, a very big smile on his face, Barney, as he gets the safety paraphernalia unhooked. Now, let's clarify that situation as far as the $100,000.